So my obsession with K-dramas has continued, and I think it's the 18th or 19th I just finished. I just finished Man to Man on Netflix, which I loved. I loved. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I think the main couple is like really adorable. Um and oh my gosh, the way that he looked at her. Oh, like no man has looked at me like that. Seriously. No. Oh my gosh, he's like really into her. I like the fact that she's not like conventionally would have been considered a like really hot woman or something. Like she looks like your average, I think, gorgeous like woman, but she's like I don't know, maybe it's just like her haircut. Um because I saw comments about like why would they have cast her, and I'm just like I think she's amazing. I think they're like a great couple in that series. Anyway, so I just literally finished that just now. But I wanted to say that I've already run into a snag on wanting to learn Korean because it's the pronunciation, and I'm big on pronunciation. Um Now one of my best friends, like she was like we met in Japanese class at a community college years and years ago, like huh, well over a decade ago. Oh my gosh. um and I could not string together a sentence really well in Japanese. Like I was really bad at that. But I was really good at vocab and pronunciation. I mean, it helped that I watched a lot of anime, and I'm talking about sub. I mean, like there's some great dubs out there, okay? But like I prefer subtitled, like English subtitles. I prefer original language and reading because I'm a really fast reader. So like I can read really fast and pay attention to what's going on. So I like I got really good at that when I was younger. So I can speed read pretty well. So I prefer in the original language with English subtitles for pretty much anything. So you know, like it helped when I was learning Japanese because I could pronunciate, and I had a lot of vocab words. So if someone didn't go too fast, I could mostly understand what people were saying in Japanese for at least a couple years. Like I haven't gone down that road in a long time, so I don't know any Japanese. Not like fluent or anything. I was never that good, but either way, my obsession with K-dramas, I just I don't know. I just really love the story. I love the way everything is set up. Like being a writer and an avid reader, it's I don't know, like it just the setup, the plot, the characters, everything is really good. I feel drawn in to every single one that I've watched. Um I mean, I have some favorites. I really enjoyed Man to Man. Alchemy of Souls, like parts 1 and 2, I recently finished, and whew, God, my entire soul was just really, oh, I was really drawn into that. And just, so there's a lot though. Like Mystic Pop-Up Bar was the first one that I watched this year in May, and that really destroyed my soul too because there was a lot of emotions. So I mean, like I have a long list. Okay, as I said, like that's like the 18th or 19th one that I just finished. And it just I don't know. I think I also really love all the actors, like the way they express themselves, their facial expressions, the way they can say so much without even saying a word. Um, and sometimes they're just like really over the top, and I love that. I love how over the top they are. It's like animation brought to life. And I think that's the other draw that I have towards K-dramas because there is almost always a splash of like some sort of comedy or just like, are you kidding me? Like they can show their frustration. And it is just, it's a bit of humor, and I love that. But their pronunciation, like how they say things and how I can hear it, like it's a little different for me this time around. Like Japanese, I didn't really have as much of an issue. Um, but Korean, it's like I'm hitting snags with my pronunciation. So, although one of my best friends, I mentioned her before, but she was also learning Korean. And she actually was living in South Korea for a while. She like did a little bit of acting there, and she did like some teaching, and like she is phenomenal. I love her. Like she has traveled the world like so many times over, and I love like all her posts with, especially with food. It makes me hungry every time. But um I will tell you that I have been craving kimchi a lot while watching all these K-dramas, and I don't have any good kimchi near me. I had to try to find some at some stores nearby, and it was, so I went to Walmart and I went to Target because those are the two closest, and that's not, one of them is like sauerkraut with a dash of chili pepper. That's how it tastes. Like I actually love sauerkraut. Um but that's not kimchi to me. It's not kimchi. And then the other one is, it's similar to, because I tried kimchi when I was in Oahu when I was stationed there, and I don't remember the other dish that I had, but they just had like this little thing of kimchi on the side, and because I was like, yeah, I want to try that, and it was really good. So I went back for more. Like I was like, I will pay you, but can I have like a big thing of kimchi? And the person looked at me funny, like, okay, crazy white girl, like, okay. But no, I like kimchi. But I have to search and see if there's like some decent like actual Korean restaurants near me, because I have a feeling that's the only way I'll actually get like kimchi instead of something store-bought, because I just But anyway, so I see all these posts from my best friend, you know, going around the world and doing stuff, and I love it. I enjoy seeing all her posts. But but I mentioned to her like, hey, I want to learn Korean. Like I'll probably be terrible, but I want to learn Korean. I've been like obsessing over K-dramas for months now. Like I've just been watching constantly every week. And I want to learn Korean, and I wondered, because you had learned it before, like did you have any tips or tricks or whatever? And she's like, actually I have some leftover study material I can send you. And I'm just like, oh my god, yes. Like I'm super stoked whenever she may send it. So until then, I got really impatient. I went to my local library and I happened to find this. The only problem is, it's got like it's not that bad. It's just, I also need to hear it. So I was like, okay, let me look it up on Google, because the way it's like sounded, like the phonetic English looks different on Google. So like, for example, I'm going to butcher this. I promise you I'm going to butcher it. But library, because I love libraries. I'm a book nerd. I'm like nervous. I'm nervous. Like I'm trying to, okay, so, doseguan, I think. But on Google, doseguan. Like the way that, but the way it's pronounced, it almost sounds like a T instead of a D. And I know it's similar in English. T to D is that E sound after the T and the D. Like it. Doseguan. Like the way that they say is doseguan. I think I'm still pronouncing it wrong. Okay, I assure you I probably am. Like I am a complete amateur. I don't even know, like, what was the other one? There was another one that I was trying, because what was it? It was colors, because blue is my favorite color, and the way that they have the phonetics for blue, it's like paranse, but it's like SAEK. But if I look on Google, which I'm going to go back to where I was before, it's like an L, not an R, and I'm just like, I know that in Japanese, like, they don't really have L's. They pronounce with R instead of L. Is that the same in Korean? Like I don't know. I am learning everything for the first time. Um and it on Google it's SAEG, not K. And I'm like, is K and G like interchangeable or something with the sounds? Am I getting that wrong? I'm probably getting that wrong. So
파란색,
parase. I probably mispronounced that as well. Blue. Blue is my favorite color. So I mean, like, yeah, I was looking up blue and I was looking up library. But but yeah, so I was like, oh, I really want to learn a bunch of this stuff. Um so I wanted to get a book right away, and this is, I think, learning like from kids books in another language is one of the best things that you could do. Like I think that's really smart. Um because it's because you're starting from scratch, right? Like English, you know, you learn as a kid, like you learn the basics and phonetics, and it's really oh my gosh, like I never had a strong backing in English actually. Like I mispronounce a lot of things in the English language because I read everything. I didn't hear it all. I learned words, like I could spell really well in spelling bees when I was a kid. And it was really difficult during those spelling bees because they would say the word and at first I was like, what word are they talking about? Because I'm visualizing like how something, sorry. My lips are really dry. It's the winter weather. But they would say it and I would have to think for a minute, like, what word are they talking about? Because I would just see the word and see the kind of phonetics like broken down in a dictionary. Because as soon as my mom taught me to read when I was like real little, she just handed me a dictionary and a thesaurus, like those big tome kinds. Because I mean, come on, this is the early 90s. My mom was obsessed with those like big Britannica like esque kind of, you know, volumes. So she had like big ones and she just put that on my bed and said, here you go. Now you have the basics. Here you go. So I learned words by reading the dictionary and the thesaurus and reading like lots and lots of books, but not knowing how to pronounce it like verbally. So so like I wouldn't know how to pronunciate anything. I would just know that that's a word. I know what that word means. I know how to put it in a sentence. I know how to use it. I know how to spell it. Like that's so I also do not have a strong foundation in when it like it's really weird. Like I know how to create complete sentences in English and it sounds right. Um and you know everything is where it's supposed to be. But having to go through homework with my almost 10-year-old in 4th grade and the whole like irregular verbs and this and that, and I'm teaching him about past tense and everything, and like, okay, so I know that this word has this and the past tense is this, and I know they're not spelled anywhere near each other. I'm so sorry about that, but this is the correct past tense of that word. And I realize like I only learned that kind of stuff by reading a lot of books. A lot of books. I didn't have a great foundation in that in school because I moved around a lot. So it's like and it seems to me that there's a lot more involved in English literature when it comes to teaching in schools now versus when I was a kid. Because there's a lot more than what I remember from the few times that I even paid attention. Um, so I think like that may be the case as well in other countries. I don't know. I'm not like an expert or anything, but like obviously things have changed since the early 90s, early and mid, you know, and late 90s because like, you know, elementary and then, you know, middle school for me. Um, so it's like I think that's the best option is to start from scratch. Like start from like the elementary, from like the toddler stage if you're going to learn another language, because you're learning what little kids are learning, like from the very basics, and you can go from there. I believe from working from the ground up as far as something like that. I feel like I would have a better foundation too, because this is just like this book right here is just it's just like vocab pretty much, and how to like, pronounce it and stuff. And I do listen on Google because, like I need the verbal. If it's another language. English I don't have as much of an issue because, well, as I said, I've read a lot. I feel like I have like hair in my, there we go. But another language, like I want to hear it, because even though I do have tinnitus in both my ears from my time in the Navy, and my last duty station was, a naval air station. So it's like I was around jets and I did not have the proper, protection. So my hearing can go out in and out, and it can have like very painful ringing. Sometimes it's really hard to hear, like it feels like it's very muffled. So sometimes I can't hear, especially if someone is being very quiet or whispering or mumbling, which can be really annoying when I'm on the phone at work, because it's like my job is in a call center. So if I'm able to, I'm still trying to see if there's a job that I can like cross over that's to my level where I'm at, but I don't have to be on the phones all the time, because that would be nice. Like if I could do audits all day, if I could do like spreadsheets all day, I would be fine with that. I actually would. I would not be bored. Well, maybe a little bored, but I would have like music in the background or something, but it's difficult to hear. So I guess like I'm kind of frustrated now, because back when I was learning Japanese, I didn't have any, hearing issues. And in the military, you have to have, a full bill of health. I had to have really good hearing. My hearing changed at the very end of my service, when I was already getting out due to my shoulder injury. So that's when they tested, and they're like, "Oh, your ears are not that good anymore." So I'm a little frustrated. I am a little frustrated. Okay, I say little being the operative word. It's actually not that little. I'm a whole lot frustrated, because I have to strain a little to hear, to see if I'm actually pronouncing the word correctly, because that's the big thing. For me, it's knowing vocab words and being able to pronunciate. Those are my pet peeves on learning, other languages. And I don't know what it is either, but no matter what I do, no matter what I've done in the past, I took Spanish twice in high school and failed miserably both times. I just cannot grasp. I can't do anything with French or Italian either. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like Latin based languages, like in that vein. I can't grasp it. It's like it's like way over my head. I mean, I'm 5'4", so I'm short, but it's just, even if I jump, I don't think I could hit that. It's bad. But I have a better time with, like, Japanese was not that hard for me. I mean, putting together a sentence, because my brain thinks in English, and I'm trying to translate in my head to create a sentence in another language. So that was a little difficult. I'm sure if I put more study into it, I would have done okay. But now I'm starting a completely different language that I never really paid attention to before. Like, I've seen a few K-dramas over the years, but this year, for whatever reason, I don't know. I think maybe it's because K-dramas kind of saved me. I was really in a very depressive state earlier this year. And so I started watching K-dramas, and all of a sudden I felt like like things were better, brighter. I can't really describe it, but now it's like I'm keep watching these these dramas, I really want to know, I really want to be able to understand what words they're using. So I really want to learn Korean, but I'm like hitting that block of, with the hearing and then the fear of mispronouncing, and it's just, so that's where I'm at right now. That is how I'm feeling right now with all that. I just literally got this like yesterday. So I started trying right away, and then I was like, oh, it's interesting. It is very interesting looking through some of this stuff. And I'm just like, I definitely will not pronounce it correctly, I'm sure. I am curious though, like the numbers. Because the way that this says the numbers, but the way that in K-dramas, like I hear them say some English words too, and I'm like, how is that normal? Is that normal, like where you add some English words or English sounding words? Because it sounds like they're saying two for two, even though it looks like or e for two. Three is sam. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I mean that's how it's SAHM is how they're doing it phonetically for English, like sam, and then four is sa. But so I don't know if that is normal. I think like sometimes I'll hear what sounds like English words kind of intermingled. The other thing too that I have not researched at all, so this is just my thoughts right now in this video, is anytime it's translated in the subtitles as spirit, but they go fighting, like a fighting spirit. And I'm just like, why? Is that like a new thing? Or is that... I never noticed that before until recently. The past like 3 K-dramas, I saw that a lot. I've been hearing it a lot in Strong Girl Namsoon, because that's the one that I've been like watching every week, which, damn it, Netflix, I really don't want to have to wait an entire week for another episode. Just give me all the episodes now. Just do it, okay? Like, you're a streaming service. I don't want you to act like your TV. No, don't do that. I'm very frustrated. I really want the next episode. Okay. That out of the way. But like they say fighting all the time, and it's translated as spirit or good luck. And I'm just like, because it sounds like an English word to me, so I don't know. Like I feel like I'm going to have to deep dive on the internet. Maybe a few books too. Because it's not just, so learning the language isn't going to be enough for me. Like, I will want to learn all about the culture and, well, I already like some of the food, but food, especially food. That's the other reason I want to find a Korean restaurant near me, because I want to try pretty much everything that I can try, because I am allergic to some foods, so I'll have to be a little careful, but I want to try everything, because that's the big thing about K-dramas is every single episode has some sort of food, and it makes me so hungry. It makes me want to go out and get that food, and I'm very frustrated every time, because I'm like, all anime is like that too. There's always food involved, which of course, I mean, like, it's a big part of the culture. I mean, the US is kind of like that. I would say that, I don't know. I'm sure if I went looking for it, I'd find it. But I feel like it's more prevalent in other kinds of shows from around the world. That's just my opinion. That opinion might change if I actually go looking into that more. But it just, every time I watch an episode of something, I get hungry. But yeah, I'm going to deep dive because I want to know everything. But I'm just that's the snag I'm running into, is if I'm pronunciating it correctly, or because I mean, like, I get that the book may be different than whatever is showing online, but yeah, the phonetics, the English phonetics in this book are different than Google, and my hearing not being what it was, I worry that I am mishearing it and then I may mispronounce it. So, but I feel like some of it will be cleared up once those study materials get to me from my best friend. Like, I'm not, it's not like I'm expecting them like right away, because you know she's got like a really busy schedule, so whenever she's able to send them to me, I'll just be happy. I'm just happy that she offered to send me stuff. Like, I always get excited. I still get excited by like snail mail, like letters and like little gifts and stuff and Christmas cards. Like, I still get excited by that. I like that stuff. I'm sappy like that. I still like write letters. I still send like cards to people sometimes. Not like Christmas cards, because that's a lot of work. And I never remember to do it on time. Never. There were a couple years where I tried to do it in advance. Like, I started right at the end of Halloween. I was like, all right, I will get this. I'll get all the cards. And I had written all the cards up, and then I just forgot to send them until after Christmas. I was like, yeah, preparation is not my strong suit on some things. Thanks, ADHD. That's, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So those are all my thoughts. It is late at night. I probably should be sleeping, but I just had all these thoughts that I had to get out, and so there we go. But I am, even though I'm frustrated with the hearing and with like pronunciation and me like botching it a lot, I'm still kind of excited because it's new. It's something that I'm really like enjoying watching, and I really want to learn Korean. I don't know how well I'll do, because it's going to be me being self-taught. I certainly can't afford to do any sort of online classes like the ones that you'd have to pay for, you know, with instructors and everything. And I certainly don't know anyone personally that knows Korean or is Korean and knows Korean. Like, I don't, not where I'm at. I mean, I definitely have some friends that were linguists in the Navy, and so, you know, they would travel a lot and they would practice constantly because, you know, they had to. But like, they have friends and connections that they talk exclusively in another language with that person, but I don't have anyone to do that with. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting journey, interesting adventure. I have started following a lot of actors, like Korean actors from all the shows that I've been watching. So I've been following them, and I don't think I will be able to ever read Korean the same way that I don't think I could ever actually read Japanese. Like, I had difficulty with that too. With translating, like, in my brain, it's just, it's hard. It's a bunch of patterns. And sometimes I feel like, you know, American English is like that too. There are days when my brain is just not wanting to function, and it's just like, nope, not there. So I don't think I'll ever be able to read and write in another language, but at least being able to listen and speak is what my goals are. So I've been following a lot of actors on, like, mostly Instagram, because like I mostly follow people and interact with people on Instagram. I don't post as much. I have a personal account on Instagram. I do have an open, like, public account for Threads, which I just started recently. But I've been adding a lot of them because it's like, if they have any videos or if they have any other things in there that, you know, relate to it's just, to me, it's like following them is like part of me learning that language and learning the culture and learning about the stuff that's going on. So I've been doing that. So yeah, I've just started. I've just started with the whole language thing. And I already feel not very confident. I already feel like I'm going to botch it. And I'm sad about that. But I'm also excited because it's new and I'm trying. And I really want to know. I really want to know how to speak Korean. We'll see how this goes. I will post more in the future for sure about this. I mean, I have a lot going on in my life too right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on this week in general. But I feel like this is also an escape. Like, as I said, I was in a really bad depressive state earlier this year. And I don't know how to describe it, except it felt like watching Korean dramas really lifted my spirits. It made me feel like I could escape and still stay rooted to where I'm at, like in reality, in life. But like, I feel like a part of me can just relax and not stress when I watch K-dramas. And so, I mean, yeah, some of them really destroyed me emotionally. I mean, they did their job. But it's uplifting. I don't know how else to describe it. But K-dramas definitely, I felt like they saved me in some way. So I just, learning Korean, I feel like will also be a good challenge for myself, but it feels like it's connected to the K-dramas I'm watching, which are uplifting and feel good for my soul. So I feel like learning Korean would also have a similar effect in a way, even though I'm very frustrated and feeling not so confident in my skills or abilities as a really, really basic amateur. But we'll see. I feel like part of me will enjoy it even if I'm not good at it. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel more confident the more I learn and the more I practice by myself. Because as I said, I don't have anyone to practice with, so that'll be interesting. I really need a friend who can speak Korean fluently. I do. I need a friend who can speak Korean fluently so I can practice. That's the best. That's the best way to learn is hands-on and practicing a lot. Like, speaking it will help. Okay. Anyway, I hope you are well wherever you're at, and yeah, I will put in I mean, I'll put it in the comments, or not comments, my description, but like, yeah, my threads is the same. It's the same as like my Twitter and, my Insta, like, yeah, it's the same name. So if you're interested in getting on there, I don't know. Not a lot of the people that I know on Instagram are following my threads. So like having a open public account, like I have a lot of random people that I mean, but I like them all. They seem cool. So, and I'm seeing a lot of people go from Twitter, I refuse to call it X, Twitter, to threads. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, okay, I should sleep. I should try to sleep. I don't know if I'll actually sleep, but I should try at least just a little bit. So, okay, bye.